Hey, what's up YouTube? So today I just want to do this because now I've installed a couple of toilets on the channel, but I have not really showed how to connect up the mechanism. So today I thought maybe before I connect this toilet where it has to go, I figured I do the mechanism with you guys so that you can just see how it's done. Is it the only way to do it? I don't know. This is how I do it. Like, you know, most of the stuff I do on the channel, it's how I do them. They tend to work, and that's the point for me, for it to work. So I am using a work whip mechanism, and I love this because this is a bit robust. There's some that I've used which are very low quality, and whether they last I really don't know, but you can just feel by touching them that they're actually very low quality. So this one here I really love. I give it a 5 out of 5. It's really solid and it works perfect when it's in the toilet. I've already installed one, and I think I've installed about 2 of these already. This will be my 3rd one installing it, and yeah, I'm loving it. So obviously all of this must go in here. You've got your cistern which goes on the pan. This is a front flush, obviously, if you see there, and it uses the handle, so that tells you it's a front flush there. And it comes with a manual, guys. So you've got a manual for the front flush system here. You have bolts that tighten the cistern to the pan. You've got a manual that comes with everything to show you what to do, how to do it, all there. So nice instructions. Many don't really come with instructions. So I really love this work whip mechanism that you can use. Inside again you get a spanner. This is actually a spanner, so for something like this, it goes in there and you can tighten it. The big one is for this guy here. Is it for this guy? No, this one is a hand, but you can also use it for this guy here like that. So it holds it there. If you turn it around, it locks in there and you can go for it. So you've got a plug. Obviously in a cistern, your inflow, you can only have one inflow. You get 2 holes on the left and on the right. So depending on where your water inflow is coming from, you will plug the opposite hole so that it doesn't leak water. Obviously you've got some nuts there. We've got this mechanism is what stops, what causes the water to stop coming in. So you can adjust this guy according to the level of water you need in the toilet. So that's for that. And this one here is a mechanism that you use to, when you flush, it pulls this guy up, water goes in here and then goes inside the toilet and lets the doo-doo go away. So that's that piece there. This rubber here is a rubber that you would use for between the cistern and the pan. So this makes sure that this part here doesn't leak out when you flush and leak out between the pan and the cistern. So that is what this rubber is for. There's sometimes you get foams that you use, but again, like I say, this work whip equipment is nice and solid. This is a nice solid rubber piece there, not necessarily foam. So I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So what else do we have? Like I said, I think I told you we've got the flushing mechanism there, and then we've got the bolts and nuts. We're not really gonna go much into these because I'm not going to install the pan now to the system now to the pan, but we've got the nuts and the washers and the plugs, all of that, it's in there. We're not gonna use that. For now we're gonna use all of these now over here. But here it is inside. Like you see, there's holes on the far left and on the far right. That's the ones that you have to plug out depending on where your supply comes from. So obviously you have this guy. It also has a rubber here so that water doesn't leak out. So it has rubber, and then you bolt this in from the bottom of the pan. So this how this is going to sit is basically, remove this. So this guy will come inside the middle, big hole in there, just like that, and then it comes from the bottom here. And then what you will do is you will tighten it as you need there. As you tighten it, the rubber that I made you see in the bottom there, it's going to squeeze into the hole. That is what actually blocks the water from going through here and leaking. And when you flush, water comes out of here into the pan. So this is how that guy is gonna be going in. So what I'm doing now is I'm turning any things that might be on the way this side just to this side, because my water feed is coming from the left, this side. So this hole I'm gonna plug out using this guy here. You put that into the hole from inside the cistern, and then you tight from the bottom until it's tight. There's a little foam rubber type thing here, plug that will actually squeeze so that water doesn't go through. So I'm going finger tight first. So that is the hole that I'm plugging there. I will take the spanner that comes with the kit itself. So efficient, this thing, this set here. And so that's about, it's getting tight now there. So what I will do is I'll leave it at that tightness for now. So if it leaks, you just have to tighten it even tighter. That's all you have to do. So now it's about tight for me. Feels nice and tight. You don't want to over tighten, because don't forget these things are plastic, it will start jumping the loop. So that feels tight for me there. From inside, you will see it squeezes that rubber thing out so that it doesn't keep any water. It keeps all the water in here and doesn't leak out. And the small ones here that you see on the left and right, those are for the bolts for these guys when you tighten it to the pan. So now we've got one hole plugged, we've got our flushing mechanism, the big one that lets the water in, we've got it in there. And now we shot the one that's going to let the water in, which is this one here. So also it has a rubber here that helps to keep it from leaking. So let's put that in there. So also it's in there. You take its spanner or its nut, and then just make sure you don't block your way for the cistern to pan nuts. When you bolt it in, don't block out your way in there. So it's getting finger tight there. I'm gonna use my spanner. Okay, so that's about tight there. We'll see if it leaks again. If it starts leaking, I will tighten it even further. But it's nice if you have it nice and tight while it's here, because don't forget that once you've plumbed all these things up, it's not easy access just to get in there, because now you'll have your pipe fastened in there, and you won't just be able to fit this in there anymore. So just make sure initially it's nice and tight, not too tight, but tight enough that you feel like water won't leak out. Unfortunately, if it does, then it's either you'll get a shifting or a spanner just to tie it, or you'll have to untie this guy here, put this guy in there and tighten it up. I feel confident with that. I feel confident with the one at the bottom that we've already done. Only this one we still have to tighten, but we'll get to it now. So this one, as you tighten it, this guy comes there like that. Make sure it surrounds the big nut and then it sits on the pan. As you tie it down, it squeezes it in there. That's what makes it not leak out from here, because now from the inside the rubber there is sealing so that water doesn't come out of this side. So that's where we are now. This is all just fastening. We plug the one on the right, we put in the inflow on the left, and then we put in the flushing mechanism in. So now we need to figure out this part where you actually, what you actually use to flush opens, water comes into the pan, and that's the do go away. So that is this guys here. So you also get a couple of equipment for it. So this guy will come in here like that. See, like that. So you just click it on the sides there. Okay guys, so to get the handle installed, this has to go in here, but before that goes in there, you have to take this guy here and push it in first in there like that, and then the handle comes on top like that. So just make sure that it locks in place there like so, and then you will take this plug washer inside like so. So this will block the water from actually coming out of the handle. And you will take the nut for it and tighten it. Get the spanner that we have, use that. But you must also be careful, because now if you tighten this too much, you will have that where the toilet will not actually flush because the rubber is holding just too tight in there. So just for it to have movement there. So what I like to usually do is water, because of the mechanism that you use, water is rare that you find it coming there, because even the overflow is there and it doesn't really get there. So just, you don't have to be too worried about it actually leaking from this handle there. So there, I'm gonna leave it like that for now. Then I'm gonna take this adapter, I'm gonna put it in line there. Then you take this guy and just push it in there. just like that. So now the plug is connected. Now it's just this guy that has to go in. So that's what some of the things that you need to actually be wary of when you're flushing. When the water comes up, it mustn't block, because now if it pushes it up, it's gonna put water inside again. So just something you need to just be careful of when you adjusting there. So this guy is actually ready to go in. So we get our plug, align it and push. Just like that. So at the moment, if I do this, we will be flushing. Flush, 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 flush. And if it's up, when this water is full, there is a clearance there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I do have a clearance for when the water is actually filled up. This stick here will not actually touch that there. So at this point, the mechanism is actually installed and it should be working okay. Water will come in, it will be stopped based on your level adjustments there. If you want to flush, you just pull there, it pulls in, the water goes in. You're looking good over there. So one last thing that we still have to do now, because I just wanted to make sure that all of this is actually okay, it's to now tighten the bottom big nut. Again, also just make sure it's also tight. Yep, mine is nice and tight now. Look at the bottom. I can see it squeezed the rubber nice and flat in there. That means we won't be leaking. So the only thing left, guys, is to get this put according to order and putting it into the cistern and tying it up to the pan, and then that will be that. So this guy here is just gonna come on like that. It's just gonna come on. Sits just like that. Then you just put it onto the pan and you tie it down, and that is that. So that's that, guys, for connecting or assembling the mechanism for a toilet to get it working. Tie these guys down, put in this guy there, and Bob is your uncle. So until the next one, thank you for watching.